Hey guys, so this video and layout is kind of a companion to the one I did about crabbing at Beaver Creek. I took some surrounding photos, I guess, of the water and the conch shells and the sun rising and things like that. So it was just kind of, and the crab traps. I took a photo of the crab traps. And what I'm going to do here is make sort of a sunburst pattern on the top of this layout. So I'm just using a piece of cardstock here to make a pattern so that I can cut out my pattern paper. And so I drew a horizontal line for how high I wanted the sunburst to be, and then I marked the center point, and then I just made diagonal lines coming out of that center point, and I numbered them so I knew where they went after I cut them all up. So then I'm going to cut them all up here. And believe me, I don't bore you with all of this. I went through and edited this video and took some of this stuff out. Okay, so now you see, now I'm laying the patterns that I made on top of decorative cardstock or pattern paper, and I'm using the My Mind's Eye, the Bright Side 6x6 pad. And what you're seeing here, I'm going to use some of these patterns that I have, and then I'm going to change some out by the time you see it. And then it's just a matter of I put them down on the pattern papers with temporary adhesive, and then I just cut them out. Pretty simple. And then once I cut them out, I numbered the back of the reverse side of the pattern paper so that I could put them back on the page the way that I wanted them. This is one of the papers that goes away, that kind of peeled paint plank wood thing actually goes away. And now I'm looking for what I'm going to use as the background paper. And I thought I would use that peeled paint wood plank sort of paper, but I felt like with all of the colors that was going to go on with this starburst pattern, that was going to be a little bit distracting. So I actually end up pulling out a piece of paper that is pretty neutral here, and I decided to use that. So it's just a matter now of lining my pieces up on my cardstock and putting them down. And I'm going to put them down with some temporary adhesive because I'm actually going to sew in between all of the different rays, if you will. So now I have a paper, and you can see how I switched some of them out because I didn't like some of them. So I switched some of them out, and now I'm going to take the sewing machine. I'm trying to use my sewing machine more. I'm trying to make myself use it more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a diagonal stitch. I think that's what it's called. My sewing machine does 16 types of stitches. I use 2 of them, you know. So all I'm doing is doing like a diagonal stitch in between each of the rays, and I'm going to show you a close-up of that. I am not a sewing master yet by any stretch of the imagination, but I figure the more I make myself do it, the better I can actually now thread the machine without looking at the user manual. So I think that's good. Here I'm going to give you a close-up, and I actually slow the video down, I remembered, and I used that piece of striped paper there just to cover up my sewing mess and the overlap of the paper in the center there. And I'm going to use this tag, and it says it's a memory. And I'm going to put the top of the tag up on dimensional adhesive, which is something that I always do. And then I'm going to layer the photos on top of that. And then from this point on, the layout took a little bit of time. The time it took will be down in the description because I don't have that written down right in front of me right now. But the layout took a bit of time, but it was mostly that sun ray pattern at the top that took the most amount of time. This part at the bottom is actually going to come together quite easily. I'm using those are from Simple Stories, that little destination sticker, and I put a heart there. And then I'm going to use in a little bit, I'm going to use some alpha stickers to put this destination, so it'll just say this destination. And then on that little flag that's pointed there, it says rocks. So it'll be like this destination rocks. Here I'm using some My Mind's Eye. Oh, these are basic gray. I'm sorry. These are basic gray in those waterfall collections that they have now. I pulled the letters out of that. This particular one is from the Capture waterfall theme park that coordinates with the RSVP collection. So I'm just adding a little bit of embellishment. Here's another flag where the date will go. And then I'm going to just look at what else I want to use, and I'm going to end up in a second. I'm going to use, oh, this is that Ormaloo? No, it's Evilicious. Evilicious Flare that says right here, and it's got an arrow on it. And I'm going to just put some adhesive on that and then pop that up on top of that date flag. I put it on 2 levels of foam adhesive so that it had more dimension than the date flag, which I put up on 1 level of foam adhesive. I'm going to take out a Sharpie. I'm sure I use a Sharpie. Yes. I'm going to take out a Sharpie here, and I'm going to do my journaling in this sort of aqua color. And ignore my glasses and my hair. You guys know it's early in the morning and I'm scrapping. And then I just wrote the date in that little tag there. And now I've really wanted to use some stamps, but I didn't have any sitting on my desk and I was a bit too lazy to go pick them up. So, I like this word memories. That comes out of the basic gray hipster wood die cuts. One of them is going to be hipster and the other one is going to be carte postale. So I have 3 frames up there. And then I have these 3 words that say totally awesome memories, and I decided just to use that as my title. And because I didn't want like the wood veneer colors, I'm going now to look for some, I think I'm looking for paint. Am I going to use paint or am I going to, oh, I'm going to use actually chalk ink. And I'm going to color these frames and those wood veneers in some color box chalk ink. I find that chalk ink to be the best type of ink pad to use on wood veneer. I just ordered a bunch of chalk ink from Technique Tuesday. I'm hoping that their chalk ink is pretty good because as you're going to see here, I'm trying to use this light blue. I'm going to try to use this light blue and the pad is dry. I think I either need to get another one or order a re-inker or something like that. So I don't know where I'm off to now. You know what? I'm going to cut it. Hold on one second. Okay, there we go. I saved you a little bit of time there, like a minute. The video was just blank. I could see on the volume bar at the bottom that from the original video that there was no sound. So I must have walked out of the scrap room. Stu might have come home from work, or well, no, it's early in the morning, so that wouldn't have happened. Or maybe he just woke up and he was calling me or something. I'm not sure, but I cut all that out so you guys didn't have to watch that because it was just dead space. So anyway, here's where you're going to see I'm going to have trouble with this blue ink. It's not going on. I'm just using some cheap makeup sponges from the dollar store. I think I got them at the dollar store for like $1. Or I got them at like a Family Dollar or one of those sort of bargain stores, Ollie's maybe for like $1.50, something like that. They weren't that expensive. They're not the ones that I use on my face to put my makeup on. They're different ones. So I colored that those 3 things, and I wanted to color them all in the same colors because they'll be on the top and the bottom of the layout. And I didn't like that blue, obviously, because it was just way too light. There wasn't enough ink. It's just really dry. So I went ahead and pulled a different blue, and then I'm going to line these up at the top and the bottom. Now, if I had been paying attention, I probably wouldn't have put the 2 words together. One of the words says sweet and the other one says happy. I probably would have put that chevron arrow in the center, but I wasn't paying attention when I did my colors. So, and I couldn't have said, like the blue says totally, so it couldn't be awesome totally memories. You know, I couldn't switch them around. So I was kind of stuck with how it was. So, oh well. That's just between you and I. It actually would have been better if sweet was on the back and happy was on the front and then the chevron in the center, because then it would have kind of spanned that top part, but I wasn't paying attention. So here's a bunch of little embellishments that I got at that scrapbooking yard sale. I got a lot of my embellishments there, like these sort of random things. So I had some boats. This entire collection here of embellishments I term seaside. So there's a gold anchor, and then I have those 2 ship captain wheels. And so I'm just looking at what embellishments are in there that I might want to use. And I'm actually going to go with what's on there now. And then I stick this little crab. If you watched the previous video about crabbing, I wanted to use those Jolie Boutique crab stickers that I had and didn't get a chance. So I just stuck this little red crab down here on this one. There are no crabs in these pictures, but it was a day we went crabbing, so. So I'm going to put these down, and that is actually going to finish up the layout. I don't do much else with it. Like I said, very, again, if you're using a template, and that's another Carrie Bradford template, putting 4 photos on, in a collage on one strip of paper, when you're using a template, and then I took a lot of time to do that sunburst at the top, so I didn't want to compete with that too much. So the bottom of the page is just basically the title, some journaling, some small embellishments, and then the photos, and that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know. I'm leaving on vacation, so I don't know when the next video. And my goal is to have a video up every day while I'm on vacation, but we'll see if I'm able to do that because I have to take a quick trip to Chicago for work before I leave for vacation. So it's going to be kind of hit or miss about whether or not I get 8 videos done before I leave. We'll see. I'll be recording all night. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions or comments, you know what to do. Leave them below and I will try to get back to you. I'm going to answer a lot of the comments that I got, especially about my depression sucks layout, because a lot of you guys responded to that. I'm going to answer a lot of them on my way on vacation. So I'll have my phone and I will answer you guys back on that. I try to answer every comment, but sometimes, especially when I'm putting up a video a day, it gets a little time consuming, especially when work wants me to work. I mean, what's up with that? So anyway, I hope you guys are having a good day. I'll see you next time. You guys take care of yourselves. Bye.